Hey, what's up? It's Walt with One Fall WrestleCast. Told you last night, doing a little two-parter. Tom is on his way to be magical friends with Tinkerbell and Peter Pan and Goofy and um. So Derek and I are gonna do a show tonight. As you all know, yesterday Tom and I discussed SummerSlam. Today we are going to touch on SummerSlam because Derek has some interesting things that he would like to discuss concerning SummerSlam, and there's been a ton of fallout surrounding SummerSlam throughout the day today, and Ric Flair has had his last match. We got a lot of shit to talk about, so we're going to do so.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What up, dude? You're fucking muted. Like, you're muted.
I didn't mute my mic. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I
it
got nothing.
mutes. It mutes whenever I play a video so that you can't talk, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, but you usually have it
assuming
unmuted
the
as well.
fact that
So
I'm assuming though the fact that like for the last 2 years you've been able to talk over that, right? I'm assuming that like this was just a fucking gut check.
yeah, this has just been a bad night with the computer all around. So
Yeah.
we're getting
Fucking
started a little
IT
late,
guy over
but
here.
we're here.
Despite
you know what? I
Derek's
use all my IT energy at work.
Despite Derek's best effort, he was actually on time today. But due to technological difficulties, we were unable to start on time, which is fine. We're used to that around here. Um,
Yeah.
and it's generally one offender. Generally. So how you been,
IT
bud?
department
Good?
not
Doing
doing
all
so
right?
good at home. Doing good. Had a good week. Got the
So what, man? You couldn't come
finally
hang out
after
with
it
Tom and
decided
I
to stop
last night?
raining for. Yeah. Nah, I laid on the couch on my side with my iPad in front of me watching Ric Flair's last match. Basically, if he was going to die, I was going to see it live. I had that already in my mind. I spent the money. I'm watching it. I wasn't moving.
I mean,
That's
I got to watch it too, and like I didn't. I still did podcasts.
yeah. Well, you guys went a good hour. I didn't watch any of it. I
Well, that's
figured
good.
it'd kind of be better if I came in here,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
not skewed in
we
any
had an
way.
intelligent conversation. We didn't have a normal
I
one fall
see.
WrestleCast conversation because you weren't here. So
Well, I hope to bring things back to normalcy today.
Oh well, that's good.
Since we
That's
are on
good.
a normal day and time, yeah.
No, but in all seriousness, Tom's going on vacation today, and he had a couple things he wanted to say about SummerSlam. So I'm like, hey man, fuck it, I'm not doing nothing. Let's have at it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I'm excited for him. Gonna go see the mouse, all that good stuff.
Yep. Go see the mouse.
Kids will have a good time.
Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be dope. I'm waiting for ice cream. Actually, my wife took the kids to get some ice cream. She said, "You want anything?" I said, "But I want some ice cream."
So you're saying you're gonna have a delivery here soon?
Oh yeah, we'll have a delivery here soon.
Yeah, a little miniature DoorDash comes to your basement.
So let me ask you a question here, real quick, though, pal, just so like I can get a baseline going into this show. How much wrestling did you not watch?
Did I not watch?
Yeah, because generally you watch less than we actually discuss. So like,
So basically, I watched most of AEW. Watched SummerSlam. Watched Ric Flair. Well, the Ric Flair show.
okay,
Whatever you want to call that.
That's healthy. That's healthy. So let's go ahead and we're going to talk about SummerSlam then, okay? Because I'm sure that there's a few things that you would like to discuss based on this. Obviously, we started off SummerSlam with the Raw Women's Championship match between Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch, which was a fucking fantastic match, if I do say so myself. And now today, there's reports have come out that Becky Lynch separated her right shoulder early on in that match, and they still put on a banger.
Absolutely, they killed it last night or Saturday night, I should say. It was like you said, it was definitely a banger. It was awesome. Those girls went at it, and that sucks for Becky though. Like I'm very disappointed to hear that we're gonna lose that because she just turned face again. That was
Yeah,
getting
but
sad.
I had read something the other day. It was yesterday before Tom and I went on. And it was like, oh, we got Ronda Rousey heel turn and a Becky Lynch face turn. Oh, WrestleMania 39 marketing, get it fired up. And I mean, I would see that and I would believe that, right?
Yeah.
But we have new creative team now, so I don't necessarily know that I could get behind that. What I think happened is Becky gonna be out for a little while. Some of the early reports are that there's 50-50 chance she might have to have surgery on that. There was video of her popping it back in place early on in the match when she was sitting like on the apron on the inside, like right
Hmm.
inside. She grabbed the bottom rope and yanked it in. But they had a great match, and we all know that I'm like not super high on Bianca Belair. I just
Yeah.
don't. I don't understand what the upside is. I really don't. And maybe as time goes on, continues to progress, and she continues to get better, I'll see and understand. But for the most part, man, it's just not my cup of tea.
Okay, so I hear you, but honestly, we've seen her progress
Oh, I'm not saying that we
much
haven't.
over the years. I mean, whenever she first came into NXT, I didn't really like me some Bianca Belair. I didn't understand she's the EST. What the fuck is all this about?
Yeah,
Well, eventually, at some point while she was up on the main roster, man, I've took a turn mentally on this. I've done a
man,
complete 180, and
she
I've been
just
sold on this Bianca Belair.
she
I,
just
I
doesn't
dig
have
it.
the seasoning that I would like to see a champion have.
I,
Same
I
with Liv
feel you.
Morgan, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that match was a fucking train wreck. Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey. Good God. Tom
Well,
goes, Tom goes, I felt like that match was quick. Yeah, I said, you thought that match was quick? That match went like 19 minutes too long.
mhm.
Like I don't even know how many minutes it was. It went too long. Take if that match was 10 minutes, take 9 of those minutes away. That would have been the perfect time.
Yeah,
Like,
we're definitely scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Not that I'm unhappy with Liv Morgan as a champion, but she's not good in the ring.
I'm
She's
just
been
not.
around for longer than Bianca has. And obviously, she's peaked. We're not going to see a better version of Liv Morgan, sparing some sort of Stone Cold or Becky Lynch the Man type of promo that just suddenly blows up.
Hey, listen, she got her blue
She's
tongue back,
maxed
pal.
out.
Okay, she got her
Yeah,
blue
yeah,
tongue back.
that's good.
Maybe
Good
it'll
point.
breathe new life into her. But my whole thing
Maybe.
is, man, like I get the story, and like I'm into her. You know what I'm saying? Like achieving her dream and this, that, and the other. But like, you can't put these two women in the ring together that neither one of them can carry a program, and neither one of them can carry a match, and expect them to be box office SummerSlam like women's main
No,
event, because that's what they were.
no.
They were the women's main event.
No, that's why you're definitely going to see, as we've already seen, some groups come out. They're
Yeah,
not going to
I
let them
mean,
go one on one.
so the thing is, and I think that we didn't talk about it, but how excited were you to see Bailey walk out?
Oh man, I was over in the garage watching with my dad, and he was like, "Who's that?" And it's like, "That's fucking crazy Aunt Bailey. That's who that is."
Yeah,
It's
drunk
like
Aunt Bailey. Yeah,
this is about to be good.
yeah,
And
and
then
then and then
Dakota Kai
Dakota
comes
Kai
out.
comes out, and then
Yeah,
Io
yeah,
Shirai, like.
yeah.
So Tom and I talked about this last night, right? Like, I guess that this faction was
Mhm.
pitched to Vince like months ago, and he was like, no, pal, not gonna happen. So to
It's the
me,
word on the
that's
street.
Triple H just like laying his dick on the table, like, yeah, we're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna make a lot of money with it, and I'm gonna show you why this was a good idea, old man.
Well, not to sit here and act like we know what goes on inside those rooms, but it's been very obvious over the years, in my opinion, that Dakota Kai and Io Shirai, now known as Io Sky, apparently. I don't know if they're trying to. I kind of heard that as well in the
Yeah,
announcers.
that's her new
Did you
name.
pick up on that? Yeah, but her
Yeah,
screen still showed Io Shirai whenever she
yeah,
came out.
that's just copyright
Um,
thing, you know.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't think it's a far stretch to say that those are definitely Triple H's people.
Oh no, not at
People that
all.
he loved previously in NXT, and
I
is
mean Dakota Kai in
definitely been the
particular.
one to reach out and bring them back so quickly like that. I sincerely believe that was not a deal that had happened before Vince retired. I would say that happened in the
Yeah,
days after, 100%.
100%.
And that speaks a lot to the loyalty that they have to Triple H. I think it's awesome. I think they are going to sell the ever living shit out of this faction, and it's going to make some money. It's going to put asses in seats. We'll
I
be in
will tell
seats.
you, I listen. As exciting as all of that was, we can't overlook the fact that was the most confusing segment of the entire fucking night. Like, what a just discombobulated mess. Tom seems to think it was because of the comical length of the entrance ramp.
Yes, yes. It took a minute to get used to that, and that was the first thing that you really saw. So,
And
unless
then I
apparently
mean
you
the
watched,
Judgment Day coming down. Oof.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was
So
really disappointed with. Well, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, the it was very comically long. I can go with that
yeah.
for
So
sure.
and that was kind of Tom's argument was that yeah, I think that it just felt really confusing and discombobulated because of the entrance ramp. I mean, if that's the case, then that's the case, and they need to fix that shit because they're trying to do 5 of these stadium shows a year.
Yeah, I'm sure they've made
And
note.
you can't be trying to roll surprises out and fucking them take 37 minutes to happen.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Um,
Absolutely.
but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I'm excited at the prospect of Dakota Kai and Io Shirai being in WWE main roster.
Oh, buddy, I'm fired up. I can't wait. Like, I think this is gonna sell me. I don't know. Like, I think this is gonna print money. You couldn't have asked for a better setup in my opinion on how that all went. How Bailey came back, and now two others.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't.
Because here recently, Io Shirai was supposedly going back to Japan,
Yeah,
and
I
she
mean,
was done over here. Her contract was going to run out here shortly,
now Triple H is the
but
man. It's funny how those
apparently,
things change.
yeah, she must have laid her signature down.
But it is what it is, right? But I'm interested to see where it goes, what happens, where we go from here. You know, I guess we might get a little hinty hint here in the next, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But Monday Night Raw is getting ready to come on the air, and that's been speculated all day that that's a statement show for Triple H. So coming off of SummerSlam, man, which I thought was overall a very, very good pay-per-view event.
Yeah,
I'm into I'm down for the change. I'm down for the direction. Let's see what happens. Moving
yeah,
on, we've got Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory for the United States Championship. What you think about this one, bud?
it was a good match to me, man. There's not really anything that Bobby Lashley touches that is bad. It's not going to be the most exceptional thing you've ever seen, but it's never going to be bad. Sometimes he'll hit a huge, match, but overall, good stuff. I really like Austin Theory. I love the character. I don't care that he's a douche. I think it's good stuff. Uh, I don't know how you guys feel about him, really, but
Listen, I
I
think
dig
that
it.
I think he's good for business, right? Um,
Yeah, I think it's
when
funny
Roman
that they
Reigns
call him the mama's boy now, and I'm
when
interested to see how that's going to go. Well,
when
daddy's
when
boy,
when Roman
whatever.
Reigns said your daddy's not
Your
here
daddy,
anymore.
yeah,
Um, I mean that might be true.
yeah. And of course he came in for the cash in, but the bell never rang, so that didn't count.
Yeah, yeah. So but we'll get to
Yeah,
that.
of
But
course.
Bobby Lashley absolutely deserves to be United States champion right now. Um, he he's on another level, and We
Yes.
talked about this a couple weeks ago. With Roman being the undisputed Universal World WWE backbreaker super swoosh champion. Um, they need to elevate the two mid card titles, and I think that having the IC on Gunther and the United States on Bobby Lashley are absolutely elevating those two undercard titles. And I don't think you change a fucking thing. You stay the course and you make those two titles mean something. And I feel like we're getting there, man. I really do. I feel like we're getting there to where in the next couple of months, the United States Championship and the IC Championship are actually going to mean something again.
I'm hoping
It's
you're
just
right. I mean, I sincerely do. Here's one thing. I don't know if you guys have talked about this or thought about this, but it kind of worries me about where the creative could go. And that's, I like Logan Paul. I don't like his content, but I like the match he put on. But damned if they put a freaking belt on him. That'll just kill any sort of. I could see where they would want to put something on him to make him seem legitimate, but I think he needs to sit there and grind it out for a while
I
and
would agree with that because listen,
put shine on the belts because otherwise it's going to stall
let's just
everything.
go ahead and
I
we'll
could
get right
see
into it,
them
man.
doing that dumb shit. I
Let's talk
could.
about the Miz and Logan Paul. I mean, I thought it was a fucking phenomenal match.
Yeah.
The Miz is absolutely the guy to have those types of matches with that type of
Mm-hmm.
guy. And Logan Paul, like two big time matchups, in two big time spots, and he delivered both times, man. Like, this was not as crisp and clean as the tag match they had at WrestleMania, but I didn't expect it to be either. Just based
Sure.
on the fact that this was a singles outing, but he looked pretty good, man. I think that he's got a very, very high ceiling, and I think that's going to allow him to grow because I mean, people are into him and people are going to watch him, whether you love him or you hate him, people are going to watch him.
Yep.
Because you want to see him succeed or you want to see him fail. It just depends on who you are, and I think WWE understands that. I think he understands that that his name is a brand. He is a brand, and he needs to do anything and everything in his power to sell that brand, even to the people that don't necessarily want to be a consumer of his brand, right? And he's doing that through WWE, and man, he looked great. The Miz, the Miz is fantastic. Like I said, that spot to be in that spot with the
Oh,
Miz, it instantly
he's one of the
elevates you
most
too.
creative people there. Yeah, he's phenomenal. Not to use an AJ Stylesism, but there doesn't get much better than the Miz.
I mean, there's quite a few people that are better than the Miz, but like
No,
the
I mean
Miz
as
is
in
great in that
current.
spot.
If you're using the heel work on the mic on the stick, he does good. This is what he does.
So
He
moving on,
brought
go ahead, go ahead.
no moving no. I got nothing.
Okay, moving on. We've got the Mysterios versus Judgment Day,
Mm,
with Edge coming out and with the rated R Brood Superstar nostalgia thing gimmick.
So you're not good with it?
I think he looks great with the short hair. Like,
Okay, yeah.
I just don't know, man. I'm gonna have to see how the
Really?
character develops over the next couple of weeks. I don't. The T-shirt he was wearing was dope, and if that's a Edge WWE shop T-shirt, I'm all over that. But
Now, I think one thing that killed this entrance is again the whimsically long entrance ramp. They could have easily set something up for him specifically to rise out of closer to the ring and made that a
well,
lot
I
more
mean,
powerful
if
than
you go back and you watch it, the stairs are out there a little ways,
yeah,
um,
it
almost
helps.
to like the first elbow of the. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You still
it
got
just
another quarter mile down this road.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like the Mysterios, I know that Dominic Mysterio is your dude and all, and like you
What?
can't wait to see him do big things, and like future world champion in your eyes. Like I get all that, but I'm about done with like the Judgment Day and like I just I don't know. I'm with the creative direction that it has changed and the way things are. I don't necessarily know that they are what they need to be at this point. Like Damian Priest needs to go back to being NXT Damian Priest Party Boy, Rockstar
Yes.
Party Boy. And Finn Balor needs to go back to being the fucking badass prince, right?
Mhm.
With an occasional fucking demon. Okay.
Mhm.
Like let's get back to things that fucking worked. And
Yeah, I have no argument with any of that because honestly, at this point, I was interested to see what they had going on when they first kicked out Edge and all that good stuff. But it's gotten to the point that you're just the vanilla, evil, dark group of Raw. You
falling a
know,
little
it,
flat for me.
exactly. It's been seen. It's not exciting. There's nothing fresh here. It's, you know, old Vince playing the hits. That's what that is.
And like I feel so bad for Rey Mysterio that, like he's involved in this quote
Stuck with this
unquote
son.
this this quote unquote major storyline. He's celebrating his 20th anniversary in WWE and uh he's just glorified enhancement talent.
Yeah. Just carrying this bag of potatoes he calls a son around.
Hey bud, that's your boy. Like I don't
That ain't my boy. I don't know him.
like yeah, just the other day in your group message you were talking about future world champion. Like,
Yeah.
guys, don't let Derek fool you here. He is riding Dominic Mysterio's fucking little nutty sack. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
You better put him under a mask and he can be El Blanco for a while. Or El whatever what was Sami Zayn where he's just El Generico.
El
There you go.
Generico.
That's what I was trying to get
It's
at.
funny that
That's
you bring
Dominic
that.
right there.
It's funny that you bring that up because like obviously with the purchase of the Ric Flair thing, you get all the sarcasm and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I I can't. Like, I don't know how people go and sit at conventions like that and listen to guys try to put themselves over.
Mhm.
Like,
It's not interesting.
I watched a couple hours last night, like things that I
Yeah.
thought that I would like, and nah, man, I just wasn't into it.
Nope.
That's
I've
not for
bought
me.
definitely two over the years, thinking like I bought the first one, and then I think I bought like the third or fourth one, thinking like, surely the production's gotten better. Maybe I'll enjoy it more this time because of the podcast, but it's not. It just sucks. And they try to put it over this whole time, but like whenever I first signed in, man, they wanted $100, and I could have all the star casts. It's like for $35, all I'm missing is the roast of Ric Flair, so I'll just do that.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. I just I thought maybe I'd like to go to one of those wrestling conventions until I actually
Mm-hmm.
sat and I listened to some of this shit the other last night. And like it's not for me, man. It's just not for me.
Nah, if I'm going, I want it to be all inclusive. I don't want to have to pay to go, and then I got to bring another 2 grand in my pocket to pay you to sign a piece of paper and talk to me nice. I'm sorry. I don't think that's fun. Of course you like me. I just gave you $50, maybe
Right,
more.
right. But I don't. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm not saying I would never go, but like I'm good. It's like not at the top of my priority list by any means.
Nah, man, that's a big money sink, big time.
Okay, so let's get back into SummerSlam. Did you see Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, my dad was really impressed with it. I thought it was good. I mean, for who it was, I love Happy Corbin so much. And I love Fat McAfee. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, he is
I
doing a
had
great
no
job.
idea that they were roommates. That's actually pretty cool. Is that true? I know they
Yeah,
both
that's
played for
true.
the same
Yeah,
team, but they were
that's
actually
true.
roommates as well.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
So yeah, that adds an extra little wrinkle there. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
good to see Pat get in there and mix it up. He did a great
No,
job previously whenever he was in War Games. So
yeah. Yeah, but I think Tom hit the nail on the head. But at what cost? Like, we didn't get Pat McAfee to entertain us all night long in our ear holes.
True.
Not that Corey Graves and Michael Cole didn't do a fantastic job. Like I was really putting commentary over in a group message the other day, just
Yeah,
because like they're less produced, and it's noticeably less produced,
it's very
and
noticeable.
like
There's a
it's
lot
good.
more, not to say dead time in a bad way, but there is some just silence from the commentary team, and it's nice. Just
Yeah,
let the match go. You know,
yeah, just let it breathe, man.
let us hear the ring. Let us hear the chops. Whatever.
Well, I think if we see a Kevin Dunn exit, we're gonna start getting a little bit more ring noise in WWE.
Yeah, and it'd be welcome, at least on my end.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
who doesn't go to a wrestling thing and a wrestling show and want to hear fucking ring noise like that?
I
It
mean,
puts you
buddy,
in the
there's a reason they're mic'd up. So, if you're micing them up, you're wasting your time if you're not taking advantage of it. I'm not sure what the purpose is there, other than well, it's always been this way. Now we just don't film it. Now we edit it out.
doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But hey, Pat McAfee over Happy Corbin. A pretty decent little match. So
Yep.
moving on, we've got the undisputed tag team championship match between the Usos and the Street Profits. With Jeff Jarrett as the special guest referee. What you think about that one, bud?
So I only saw about half of this one, um, and then I picked up later on. But the one thing that really stuck out to me was actually Jeff Jarrett about the whole thing. And I know we're not to Ric Flair's last match, but it was a completely different Jeff Jarrett. I feel like whenever we had on WWE compared to that, that was just my big takeaway. I didn't really see much of the match, but I did want to throw that out there. But
Well, yeah,
I'm
I mean,
sorry, pal,
because
I didn't see it.
WWE Jeff Jarrett
Toned him down.
is not heel just trying to murder Ric Flair in a parking lot. Jeff Jarrett. Like they're two totally different people. They
This
just
is a true statement as well.
happen to look the same and have the same name, and ain't I great?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not like an Elias, Elliot, whatever type of situation. Elijah, all the Eli's.
I can't fucking stand you. I really can't. So you didn't watch that match, huh? You didn't watch the whole thing.
Nah, I did not. No, I'm sure it was good. I have no doubt.
All right, moving on. The last match on SummerSlam was for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship between the Tribal Chief, he's the one, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. Chaos ensues, pal. Holy shit.
It ensued for quite a while. I was impressed with the length of the match compared to the destruction we had, to be honest with you. That was a much better main event than I ever imagined happening. And there was definitely moments where I was convinced, it's like, oh my God, seriously, like Brock Lesnar can't win this. Like, we're not going to go back to this, are we? But it was a possibility. I was thinking at certain points. Now,
There was definitely a couple points where it's like they don't know what to do anymore. Like their
yeah,
hands are
well,
tied
Brock
with the
wasn't
feud.
selling hardly anything. And then all of a sudden, like, Roman gets in one spear and he's just trashed. Like, I was stressing how this was all going to work out because Brock was coming at him like a machine.
Yeah.
He'd taken no damage, it seemed like.
Can we talk about the giant elephant? The giant elephant in the room, though.
Yeah, pal. You tired?
That fucking tractor, bud. Like, what a distraction that fucking thing was from start to finish. Like,
Yeah.
he overshot the ring on the first go around, and then in the middle of the match realized they couldn't use, like a quarter of the ring because the bucket was hanging over. So He like gets down and goes, he backs it up, puts it down, and then like 10 minutes later, he's like, "Ooh, I'm going to use it for a spot," and then he puts it right back in the same position that it was in. Loads Roman Reigns up, dumps him over, and then it's right back in the same spot, hanging over the ring again.
It's pretty obvious he doesn't
Hey,
do much
bud.
farming on his farms.
Hey, bud. People got wrestle here.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why you get your own dumb shit over, and now hopefully you're gonna just sit back for a while.
Nah, I imagine Brock's gonna be off TV for a year or so, maybe forever. Who knows?
No,
Maybe
I've heard
after
he's coming back.
SummerSlam, they were like, "Hey, bud, we appreciate you, everything that you've done. We know that like you don't really necessarily maybe want to be here, but we're glad that you're having fun this go around. You just go fucking hunt, man. Like, we got this."
Unbrock was fun for a minute, but it's not nearly as good as the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Like, no.
I mean,
It's
if you
not.
say so.
He doesn't. No, I'm over. Man, I need a break. I need a break. It's like back in like what would it be in like 09 to 12, whenever we had nothing but Cena, Randy Orton. I need a break. That's all. It'll be good again. Just
No,
give
I
me some
mean,
time.
we're never gonna see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar ever again.
Nope. I may never see my cell phone ever again. It might have just
Oh.
died right there.
Was that did it jump off the table?
Yeah, it did. Bastard.
Oh, shit happens.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So
I've got
overall,
it.
if you had to put a letter grade on SummerSlam,
Oh, buddy, this is easy. This is easy. And I've never given. I don't know that I've even given a B plus, ever. I don't know that I've ever given an A of any sort. But I'm gonna go with A minus. Seriously, it was good from top to bottom.
I enjoyed the show.
Yeah,
I absolutely enjoyed the show. Tom gave it a B last night, by the way.
I mean, I guess if you want to go conservatively with it, but I've given a lot of B's over our time here, and I've given B minuses and some C's. This was in an upper tier. This was an A world. Yeah,
it was good.
I did not hate the booking one bit.
No, I didn't either. I'm glad that it happened the way that it happened. Really interested to see what happens with Io Shirai and Dakota Kai and Bayley moving forward. That's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what I do know? I do know that a pay-per-view took place yesterday.
Oh, wait. Before you get to this, what would you give it?
Oh, I gave it a B.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys both gave it a B, straight up B.
Yeah.
What
do you know what that B stands for?
What?
It's boss time. Word on the street is Sasha Banks and Naomi are coming back tonight.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel about that, bud? Does that make you upset?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt me on the doll. It just, there's a buffet and everybody likes different things, and I don't like Sasha. That's all.
I don't understand why.
Not going to. I never like. She's just a dick in real life, apparently, and I can't. Nope. Who thinks
love me? You love me,
but I don't buy you T-shirts, or like I don't buy your shirts. I don't want your autograph. Like,
well, that's good because you couldn't afford.
I choose to like you.
Things.
Yeah, of course. I just ask for table scraps every once in a while when I come up to Texas Roadhouse. Whatever leftover bread you might have, please, sir.
Like, why you always go put my business out there on the internet?
They don't know what Roadhouse.
Every time.
Tom does too.
No, he doesn't.
Oh yeah.
He never name drops my facility.
Oh, he just says he comes eats.
Yeah. You're the only one that name drops my facility.
My bad.
Nah, it is your bad, and you're going to continue to apologize, and you're going to continue to do it. And I just
Maybe eventually they'll sponsor us. You could
probably
probably make that happen.
No. So Sasha and Naomi coming back. You think it's good for
Yep,
business?
absolutely. I think it's great for business. Um, am I going to buy their merchandise? No. Am I going to skip through their matches on DVR or go piss or make a drink or whatever? Yeah. It's no biggie. It is what it is. It's 3 hours long. I mean, you got to fill it somehow. I'm not saying that they're filler. Yeah, I know. That came off dickish. That's probably because that's how I really do feel. Yeah, they're just filler. It's kind of just whatever, man. It makes a good headline. Oh, they're coming back because Triple H is so nice. Just like we pointed out before that Io and Dakota Kai. He's apparently the NXT female wrestler Whistler. Or Whisperer, not Whistler.
What are you implying that he's paying them hush money too? Huh? Is that
No,
what
no,
you're
no,
implying?
no, no. I'm just
You
saying
heard it here
they
first.
like him.
You heard it here first. Derek implies
No.
that Triple H
Vince comes
is
across as a
hush
creepy
money
old
and
man grandpa. Triple H comes across as someone that wants you to succeed. And he wants to grow with you.
oh, he
We're
does
gonna
want to
make some
grow with
money,
you.
kid. Oh, stop. And speaking of grow with you, BlueChew.com. Yeah, that was free. We did that for free. We should probably tell them.
Hey, we're not on Blue Chews radar, pal. Okay.
Oh, we're up to like 10 views a week. What do they fucking want from us?
So did you watch this fucking thing last night?
Yeah, I watched this disaster. Well, the
So
undercard was not a disaster.
so
Let's get that.
Ric Flair had his last match. Okay.
Yeah,
And we'll get to Rick's last match, but let's just kind of gloss over the card real quick here, pal, and get some hot takes from you specifically because I did a podcast last night and I missed the first hour of this show, and I
I
did
see.
not feel compelled enough to go back and watch it, which is fine, because I'm sure it was a great house show. I know the four matches that the three matches plus the main that I watched, the three matches were really, really good.
I'd like to point out quite the underhanded fuck you gave me on that one. That was cute. Considering I didn't watch one match of SummerSlam and I get the fucking shaft. And you're like, I didn't watch the first four matches of the house show, but I'm sure they were fine. That was a nice gloss over. I like that, Walt.
Yeah, well, because I
You've really come a long way in your
did,
fuck you abilities on camera.
I did the podcast yesterday, but hey, so we had a bunkhouse battle royal with a golden boot and a golden belt buckle. Clearly a nod to Dusty, which I thought was super classy, especially being Ric Flair, David Crockett Promotions, all that.
Yeah.
The belt buckle looks great. It's got 4 horsemen on it, which I thought was kind of cute. A lot of fucking people in this. Sin Bodie, James Storm, Bully Ray, Crowbar, Crimson, Ricky Shane, Page, El Gringo Loco, Fanny Pack Kid, Big Damo, Wolfie D, and Commander, and then Nick Gage brought a whole fucking bunch of GCW guys down to the ring,
Including Joey Janela.
including Joey Janela.
Just want to make sure that was in there.
Okay, well, Joey Janela was in the final 4 of this match, so I mean there is that.
Yeah.
And Mance Warner gets the win out of GCW. What you think about this?
You know what I think is that it sucked that I was supposed to get access to this, and the pre-show for me was nothing but a thumbnail picture. So until the actual main show started, I got nothing from my fight expenditure.
I was just making sure that at 6:00, whenever I logged on, that I wasn't the only one that didn't see the
Nope.
the pre-show, the 605 pre-show that was promised.
Nope.
Yeah, cool. So moving on to start um the card, or the shit show as we will call it moving forward. Um
Wow. Okay. That's a little harsh.
the Motor City Machine Guns took on the Wolves in what has been dubbed the Dream Tag rematch. Obviously, the Wolves and the Motor City Machine Guns um are two like the best tag teams in independent wrestling, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they've only ever had one match ever, and they had a match, and I didn't watch it, but Derek, I'm sure that you did, and I'm sure you sat there in your most markiest of mark positions, and so give me a rundown on it.
Well, I hate to say it, it was a fantastic match. So nothing bad there at all. Both teams are obviously, as we know, huge, huge in the Impact Wrestling circle and the independent circuits. Um, we've got especially Chris Sabin, who is one of my personal favorites. Um, Overall, though, it didn't make me want to see it again.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, that was banger number two, and now we got to get a third one out of it. No, to me, it was just like, okay, that was a good representation of Impact Wrestling, much better than we're going to see here in a few minutes. But it you know, didn't tickle me. It was kind of perfect for an opening match, perfect for a regular cold open match.
Oh.
It should have been on paper, man, much bigger than what it was. And I hate to come across as a Debbie Downer like that, but it's the truth.
You
And,
know what, bud? You do you, man. Tom's not here to shit all over your outlaw mud show bullshit fucking card. You just have at it, bud. You just tell me how you feel. You know what I'm saying?
yep. So basically, yeah, it was good. I wasn't into it for my outlook, but mud show bullshit, yeah, no, 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 no,
No.
no,
Motor City Machine Guns beat the Wolves.
yeah,
Moving on, we had a rematch from Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, which I guess is a mix between martial arts and or MMA, and traditional grappling type wrestling and professional wrestling, and um, that's Killer Cross with Scarlett Bordeaux against Harry Smith, um,
yeah,
or as they called him in a couple of the British Bulldog Junior or whatever the fuck.
yeah.
Um,
BBJ.
yeah, yeah. So, looks like Killer Cross gets the win here over Harry Smith. Um, you know the big
But it wasn't even getting the win; it was getting the squash. It was just a 5 to 10 minute destruction session. And to be honest, the whole Killer Cross thing, it's not nearly as cool as it used to be. Without the lighting effects, without the fog, without Scarlet like being way more theatrical and whatnot. It's a very basic, stripped down version of everything, and Scarlet, I I don't want to imply anything. Maybe she got some work done. She just looks a little different. I don't know. Maybe it's the actual fluorescent lighting that they have to deal with now.
well, I
But
mean, she is bringing in like 100K a day on OnlyFans, so I mean, I'm sure she's not hurting
I'm
for the
sure she
money
has
to.
great lighting there. Yeah, yeah.
But
But
you know what I
I
think
was
I
pretty
like the most?
disappointed. I was excited to see it, especially considering who it was, and it was just a fucking squash match.
You know who? What I like? I like the fact that Karrion Cross still looks like a fucking superstar, and with the hair, and like he still looks like $1 million fucking. And what's to say we don't see him back in WWE here sometime soon?
Yeah, I like him with the hair and everything. I think it does him well, but I'd like to see it. Will we see it? I kind of think it's one that Trips is going to pass over. I don't see him coming back and saying, "Okay, yeah, now you're better." He's not done anything different, and he wasn't on our radar at least as one of the people that they were super disappointed about losing. I mean, Vince turned him into the gladiator or whatever the hell he was there for his last month and a
Are you
half.
not entertained?
And you lose Scarlet. Like, what are we doing here?
Well,
Uh,
it came out. It came out later that Scarlett was not medically cleared to be at ringside because she had a implant burst and she hadn't gotten the surgery. No, you're laughing, but this came right out of her mouth, and she wasn't cleared to be at ringside because she hadn't gotten that taken care of yet.
I see. So we'll turn him into the gladiator, put him under a mask. Nobody will know it's him. And then once she gets that fixed, even though he takes it off once he gets in the ring, we'll bring him back out as Karrion Cross. Because we can't say Killer Pal. That could scare the sponsors. Not my sex scandal or anything. That won't scare them.
Well, he thought he handled this sex scandal problems.
Oh, he handled it all right.
Oh yeah, he did handle.
That's the problem is he put John Laurinaitis probably in charge of it. He's like, yeah, I got it, boss. Yeah, it's all taken care of.
Oh shit.
Your arms are so big, Vince.
Oh my god. Here we go. Moving on with more outlaw mud show bullshit. We've got Nick Wayne taking on Jonathan Gresham, Alan Angels, and Kanasuki Takeshita.
Kind of Shucky Take a Shitta is from AEW,
Yes, I know.
and
I
he
know.
does all right. He's big
What is
for
it really? It's like Teshika to
Kaneshita.
I don't fucking know. I'm terrible
Kaneshita.
with my Japanese is terrible. But like
Kesha.
he's very high on everybody's list right now because of
Yeah,
how
I'm
well
good
he's
with him.
doing in AEW. Jonathan Gresham gets the win here, which I kind of find interesting coming out of, um, everything going on uh, with Tony Khan and AEW and Ring of Honor, and and then you've got Takeshita, who is very high on everybody's list in AEW, and Conrad and TK are homies. Like, I'm interested to see what the fallout is from this W. But I mean, in my eyes, I feel like Jonathan Gresham was absolutely the guy to win this match. But it is what it is. What do you think?
I think pretty much Jonathan Gresham is just being a little bitch. I can't stand this dude, and I feel like the only reason they put this shit on him for him to win now is because he has the most name recognition and he's hot. Not the most name recognition overall, but he's just the hot story on the market. He's a hot name. He's going to get more clicks. And that's all Conrad the mortgage guy wants is clicks, baby. It was a business decision. It was not a talent worthy, you deserve this decision. It's a consolation prize if you want to look at it that way. Wow. If I make Walt silent, that's bad.
No, like I'm getting text messages for work right now that are very incomplete in their messaging. Okay, and I'm trying
It
to
sounds like you're texting with me.
trying to steer the conversation into the answer that I want, and it's fine, man. It's fine. So moving on, we've got the dumbest fucking thing ever that I've ever heard in my life. Representing the Rock and Roll Express, we've got Ricky Morton and his son Kerry Morton,
Yeah.
who are representing the Rock and Roll Express with Robert Gibson in their corner. And then you've got Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson
Yeah.
representing the Four Horsemen with Arn Anderson in their corner. Why was this a thing?
Buddy, this is the most nonsensical, fucking stupid shit that I could ever imagine. I'm not certain how it makes sense. It definitely got nobody over. Um, it got Ricky Morton a payday. Maybe he needed that.
I mean, I've got to
And it,
feel like that the rock and rolls needed a fucking payday, right? Like,
I guess. That's all I can figure, man. Because, buddy, there was nothing there to look forward to. That isn't moving anything. That's a go to the bathroom, get you a drink, and then some nachos match.
I mean, I just don't, and I'm sure that it has a lot to do with, being Flair's last match and, Jim Crockett Promotions. And, we keep saying it over and over again. But, like, you made a storyline that wasn't there to begin with. And then you trotted this turd out. The Four Horsemen legacy gets the W. And that's got Tony Khan written all over it.
Yeah.
Moving on, the match that everybody going into this show was talking about could possibly steal the show, and that was the Luchador 4-way between Rey Fenix, Taurus, Laredo Kid, and Bandito. Hey, bud, this right here, this was right up your fucking alley, wasn't it? You should tell me about it.
Buddy, it was the most fucking. I shouldn't say the most. At this point, we're kind of getting used to seeing some incredible acrobatics out of these fellas. We see it, not to this level, though. This had triple A fucking luchador genius all over it. Bandito is the freaking man coming in here. I dig Bandito big time. I've been following him for a while now, or long, his through Mexico and all that good stuff, dude. And to see Rey Fenix, we kind of knew Rey Fenix was going to come out on top. Basically, we've got, as you've already said, Tony Khan lets you borrow his wrestlers. They're not going to go and lose at basically what boils down to just a one-off independent event.
Nope.
I'm sure there was a little bit of cash involved there, but it was a borrowing situation because there's, nothing he's going to gain out of it. But, buddy, we had a lot of expectations going into that match. Us being the entire wrestling community, not just you and I, not just Tom, not just anybody. Anybody that knows anything about wrestling and can look at some names and be like, yep, that's going to be fire on paper. Let's see what that looks like. Holy fuck. That, I'll just go ahead. I mean, it's obvious that was the match. That was the match of the night. That was the match of the month. I'm hesitant to say match of the week, but very well could be.
So you liked it, huh?
A little bit. It was good.
I might have to go back and rewatch it because I came.
Oh, you still haven't tuned in yet. I see.
I came in for our next match, which was the Impact World Championship match between Josh Alexander and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Wow, Jacob Fatu is just so fucking good. Like, he reminds me so much of like prime time Yokozuna, like prime Yokozuna mixed with Jimmy and Jay. Like,
I feels it.
He's big. He's aggressive. He's a bruiser. But, man, he can get in there and fucking get off his feet. That split-legged moonsault in the corner. Whew. Whew.
To me, if anything, he can work on some more size and he can be a Samoa Joe. He's got the athleticism.
Bro, you don't have the fucking the right.
Oh gosh, I can't say nothing about Samoa Joe.
Talk about Samoa Joe.
I see.
Okay, like,
keep his name out my mouth.
Yeah, you just don't have any any ability or right or leg to stand on with me when it comes to fucking talking about Samoa Joe. So like, just fucking move on,
That's fine.
okay? Because we all know that you don't know fucking dick shit about Samoa Joe other than his
Man, I put in
big.
some time with him after you guys kind of flipped out that I should be so educated on such a beastly man.
Yeah. Was that after the second or the third time?
Oh, who knows?
But
It's
listen,
probably 3 weeks in a row. I didn't have any time.
so here's the thing, though, right? Like, I thought this was a really good match. Like, I think Josh Alexander's a very underrated Impact World Champion. Like, obviously him and Ethan Page were a tag team, and like they did their whole gimmick, and like, Ethan Page had the Karate Man thing, and now Josh Alexander's the world champion, and Ethan
Yeah.
Page is doing whatever it is he's doing. Um, but I thought these two put on a great fucking match. Um, and I mean, it ended a little fucky ducky with Cardona, Brian Myers, and Smart Mark Sterling coming out, and,
Yeah.
causing that, and then DDP comes out of nowhere, hits a diamond cutter on Cardona. Um, I don't know, man. That
DDP
there was a
was a little much. It was stupid. It
it
was
was a
like
really good
I'm gonna
match.
get all
It
the
was a really
boys in
good
that want to
match,
do
and it
something. I'm
did.
gonna go ahead and throw them in there.
It was a really good match, and it didn't deserve to end the way that it did. Um,
Agreed.
but you know what? It's great. It's great. This to this
Tell you what
point,
though, Josh Alexander in an Impact ring on an episode is loved by the crowd. I mean, they are
oh,
into him as champion right now.
they should
I
be.
enjoy the current Impact product. Whenever I have extra time, I go there frequently. Yeah,
Well, that's
there's
good.
a lot
That
of good
means that
upcoming ideas there. It's gonna be a
it's
little
like when I
better.
have
Get
extra
through a
time,
couple
I
years of
try to
good
watch a
stuff.
little MLW. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next match: the Von Erichs versus the Briscoes.
How
Um,
about them?
the Von Erichs obviously are from MLW fame. The Briscoes are like 75-time Ring of Honor tag team champions. Like they're one of the greatest independent wrestling tag teams of all time. Um, Possibly making an argument to be one of the greatest tag teams of all time, especially with their current run and their current rivalry with FTR. They're really making a name for themselves where they may not have had a name for themselves before. So to see these two teams, in two sets of brothers in the ring, it was a good little match, man.
Yeah,
It was a good little match.
it's a
Briscoes
real
are
tight
fucking
match.
good, man.
hmm
The
Real good.
Briscoes are real good.
What stinks about their characters is you'd never see it in WWE. So that's the one thing that's going to hold them back from GOAT territory as far
We're
as
never
tag
gonna see
teams
them in
go.
AEW either because they tell you what's on their fucking mind, and
Yeah, apparently
you
the
know,
rumor on the street is that has been a directive down from TNT TBS management that they will not be seen on their television. But I really feel like even if they would have the opportunity to WWE, they wouldn't know what to do with them. They turn them into the Bushwhackers.
probably,
They look halfway there already.
yeah, yeah.
That'd be which now, who knows? Vince is gone. It could be different. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's them right there. Uh huh. Yeah. Hell of a tag team. Hell of a match. That was great
Nah,
with
it
the
was a good match.
Briscoes.
I like the Von
And
Erichs too,
the
man. I
Von
think
Erichs
they're a
really need
solid.
to, they need to get picked up by somebody. They can definitely move
I
up to the
mean,
next
they're
level.
they're former MLW tag team champions.
Yeah.
They're still over there doing MLW. Great tag team, man. I think that they have a lot to prove because of their namesake, right? Von Erichs, and
Oh, yeah.
um, but they're kind of doing it their way. So I don't know. I thought the match was really, really good, and I'm glad that I got to watch it. Moving on, we have the Knockouts Championship match between Jordan Grace, Deonna Purrazzo, and Rachel Ellering. Um, the Virtuosa coming out, just looking like $1 million, and then you get you get the strong smile hugger with Rachel Ellerling coming out there. Like Bailey vibes, pal. Bailey vibes.
Yeah, she's not so good. Was
Bailey
not
vibes.
impressed.
And then Jordan Grace is just the baddest bitch on the block.
Hmm.
You know, match kind of started off a little fucky ducky. They tried to do a series of roll ups, and Jordan Grace rolled Rachel Ellering up on her ankle, and kind of put her out of the match for a few minutes there, and she favored that thing throughout. You got Jordan Grace, getting a W here, as we knew that she would, but it was a competitive little match, and it was nice to see Deonna Purrazzo out there looking good. I'm not saying that Rachel Ellering doesn't have a future or isn't, a bona fide woman's star. But let's tweak that a little bit. You've definitely got some hugger vibes going on, and I'm not into it.
Yeah, let's pump some brakes on some Rachel Ellering because I don't think she has. Not just say she just doesn't have the talent yet, man. She's a lot more seasoning. She is green as could be in there. She almost hurt. Like I mean, she did kind of hurt herself. Like they got in a bad spot. She got her ankle rolled. Even before that, though, I was not impressed with her facials, her the quickness, the tightness in the ring, knowing what she's like. Nah, it was not for me. Rachel Ellering was the weakest link by far in that match.
Well, I mean, I
It
think we
basically
knew that
ruined the
going.
match for me.
We knew
But
that going into
it was
this.
to the
You
point that
don't
it
put
was
Jordan Grace
ruined.
and
It
fucking
wasn't
Deonna
even
Purrazzo
good.
out there and
Yeah.
not expect
Why did
fucking
we?
Rachel Ellering to be the fucking weak link.
Why did we ruin this?
You know what?
Like
Conrad probably owed Paul some fucking money.
maybe.
All right. So that gets us to the main event of this fucking shit show. Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett versus Andrade El Idolo and Ric Flair. Woo! The Nature Boy. The build up to this match using the internet and everything that they had at their disposal was fantastic. Okay. They had a plan and they executed it. And that is, in my mind, that is very, very much thanks to Jay Lethal and Ric Flair and Jeff Jarrett being involved in this match and to set up a long-term storyline in a short amount of time. They did a great job. The way that they started releasing the clips of Jay Lethal and Ric Flair training, and then it's, oh, I could have one more match, and we're like, no, God, please no, why? And then it starts becoming more and more of a thing, and then the whole press conference thing with Jeff Jarrett, and then Ric Flair shooting some jabs at Jerry Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett. Well, and they did a really, really good job. And then Jay Lethal jumping him in the parking lot and the whole Karen Jarrett thing. Hey man, they did a really good job telling this story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't argue that.
What they didn't do was they didn't get in a ring and fucking execute.
I can't agree that it's that they didn't execute.
Okay.
I really think you're going in with a handicap here. It's like going into a race with a fucking broken leg.
Okay. Can I
Go ahead and keep setting the stage.
No, like I got to tell you why I've taken the stance that I've taken. Okay. I think that deep down inside, we all knew this was going to be a train wreck. Every single fucking human being that had anything to do with this, from Joe Schmo that bought it down the street to you and I, all the way down to Conrad Thompson, knew that this was going to be a fucking shit show, right? We all knew it. We all knew it. We hoped that it wouldn't have been. They did a really good job telling a story. They did a really good job of showing Ric Flair out there training hard and looking like he's in shape. They did their job, right? But we all knew this was going to be a shit show. And I know that one of the conversations that we had was, we don't need Rick to do this. Absolutely don't need Rick to do this. And here's the thing. I don't think that us as the fan has taken a step back and said, this wasn't for us. This was for Rick, right? Like, we as fans didn't need this from Ric Flair. Ric Flair needed to give the fans this so that he could get some closure on his fucking life and his career. That's my opinion. However, hey, bud, you're 76 years old. Okay. You almost died 4 years ago. Okay. And then you want to go out here and you want to do a wrestling match? And kudos, like, you got Jay Lethal, who you train with, who you knew was going to take care of you. You got your son-in-law Andrade to do all the heavy lifting. You got Jeff Jarrett, another legend, right? There's a pass. Everything can, and he can still go. We saw it on Saturday night in SummerSlam, right? As a referee, he can still do the thing. We saw it a couple of months ago in his match against Effie. All of these things, we know that Jeff Jarrett can still do the damn thing. Rick was the only one that we were like, eh. And I appreciated the pomp and circumstance, right? Like, I appreciate what that all meant to Ric Flair, and I appreciate what all of that meant to the wrestling business, and I appreciate what all of that was supposed to mean to wrestling fans. But I think at the end of the day, it just fell short because we knew that no matter what, at the end of the day, Ric Flair wasn't going to be able to do what he needed to do, and it showed. I want to liken this to a story. You know who Frank Sinatra is, right?
Yeah.
So there's a legendary story about Frank Sinatra. Okay. Frank was on the back end of his career, and he was a little foggy, might not have had it, and he went out and he was doing what a lot of folks were gonna consider to be his last show ever, because he just didn't have it anymore. He's out there and he killed the first couple of songs. Like third or fourth song, the orchestra drops the music, right? Frank's in it. He don't remember the fucking words. Okay. Orchestra doesn't notice that Frank's not performing. Frank just keeps telling everybody, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, until one guy clear up in the tippy top of the theater stands up and said, it's all right, Frank. We still love you. And Frank walked off stage, and then the whole fucking crowd rose to their feet and gave Frank a fucking standing ovation. And he went back out and he killed the rest of his set. And he performed for 2 more years after that, right? That didn't happen last night with Ric Flair.
No. Buddy, I think he thought, as you've said, he was doing us all a service by giving us his last match.
He needed the closure personally, and that's how he justified it.
He's had enough last matches for 5 careers. And he's had the perfect ending. I'm not certain how he thought this was going to get any better. I do 100% appreciate what he did for us. He put his body on the line at 70-something years old.
He almost died yesterday.
It wasn't pretty. He was rough. freely admitting after the match that he couldn't remember most of it, and
Well, it's
kind
come
of
out
just
today. It's come out today that he passed out in the middle of the match.
oh, was that during the pin?
No. This was probably before, whenever they were working a hot tag and Rick was laying on the fucking mat while Andrade's crawling across the ring looking for the hot tag.
That probably be it. Nice.
Um,
Wow. I just thought this was part of the, but yeah, I can see that. Wow.
he almost died.
Yeah. Makes me fear
And
that, now Rick's done. Rick's got nothing more to tick for. You know how that goes with people,
yeah, I think he'd have been
Same with
happy.
Vince.
I
It
think
could
he'd
be
have
the
been
same with
happy if he
Vince.
died in that ring last night.
Yeah.
100%. I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. And that's sad because he's not a perfect human being. And despite his many, many flaws, he still means a lot to wrestling fans.
Mm-hmm.
And he will until the day that he dies. And he didn't need to do this shit last night to prove that to anybody.
No.
He thought that he did,
He's Ric Flair.
but he didn't.
And I'm sure that's what
And
he
like,
told people. I'm Ric fucking
and like,
Flair.
I don't even
Have
want to
to.
talk about this match. It was just so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Right? Like, obviously, Ric Flair gets a W with a brass knucks and figure four spot. Thanks, Jeff. I guess. Like, Jay Lethal out there fucking taking chops, like flopping all over the fucking place for Ric Flair. Some of the fucking just worst bag of dicks fucking chops I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Just bumping all over the fucking place. I'm like, I get it. But like, hey, bud, you still got a whole fucking career in front of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
Motherfuckers aren't going to be like, hey, Jay, that was really, really nice of you to bump all over the mat for Rick like that with those chops.
Yeah.
You want to do the same for me, little sweetie pie? Mm-hmm. You little opening card guy, huh?
Jay Lethal's not gonna be main eventing much of anything left in his career anyway, so
Wow.
I'm sorry, he's not. He came out on AEW, had a big pop there for a minute, and now he's been relegated to Dark Elevation.
Well, now he's back
He's
in
more
Ring
of
of
a
Honor.
backstage guy. I'm not sure if that's his choice or if that's just, where he's been relegated to, but
I don't know. But regardless,
regardless,
this fucking shit shouldn't happen yesterday.
he made a hell of a sacrifice for Ric Flair.
He sure
That will
did.
not be looked nicely upon in the booking situations.
I mean, I just don't.
The
I
match
mean,
was
am I wrong
just
here though, bud? Like,
no, man. I didn't need it. I'd honestly even given myself a little bit of hope that you know what, if they're advertising it this hard, maybe it's gonna be good.
and that's exactly why I fucking punched in and watched it, bud. Because I
Well,
had no desire to watch this thing until I saw the story that was behind it and the way that Rick was training hard and
yeah, unfortunately, we were bamboozled there.
yeah,
The old bait and switch.
wasn't good.
No,
Wasn't fucking good.
I mean, great for him. Had his family, friends ringside.
You know
He's
who
got
wasn't
to
at
go hang out
ringside?
with. Who's that?
Charlotte wasn't at ringside.
Why would Charlotte be at ringside? Charlotte ain't gonna be at ringside. She's
Everybody else was there.
contractually obligated to not be at ringside.
I mean, the Undertaker was at ringside. Mick Foley was at ringside.
Undertaker's on a Legends contract. Legends contract
Okay,
again.
just DDP was at ringside. Michelle McCool was ringside.
They all have a common thread if DDP even has a contract.
Yeah, he's still got a Legends contract.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bret Hart.
But
Don't forget Bret Hart.
yep. Bret Hart does not have a Legends contract.
I don't even think now. I'm pretty sure that's written into the will. That Vince is like, you never.
He did for a little
Oh,
while, but he
man.
doesn't now. But
Yeah,
I don't
we
know,
got
man.
his use out of him. Put him in the hall. We're good.
And I think Undertaker's face told the story right after that match was over, and Tony Schiavone was trying to get the old post match interview, and he's standing there talking to Taker, and Taker was like, "Are you sure you're good, bud?" Like, you could see it on Taker's face, like,
Amongst all of them, it was more of a relief and like a, okay, like, okay? Not so much as a great job, that was awesome. It was just, you in there?
because I think a lot of them saw what I saw and said, "That motherfucker gonna die in that ring."
Mm-hmm. Surprised there wasn't a Hell in a Cell involved.
I told you last night, and I know, like, I was halfway joking, but it's like, I don't want to talk about this until I know that man's still alive tomorrow.
We made it through the 24-hour period.
Listen, I googled it before we came on the air here too, just to make sure he didn't
Damn.
fucking like kick the bucket over.
You have no faith in this man's heart. He's got a pacemaker. Let it do its job.
Yeah, well, it sure shit didn't fucking make no pace last night.
Yeah, I didn't wake him up. Maybe that is what woke him up. Not to make light of the situation.
No, Andrade
hey,
fucking.
Man, you put yourself in there, then I'm gonna talk about you.
No, Andrade fucking picking up his lifeless body and putting fucking brass knucks on his hand is what woke him up. Because that motherfucker was dead. DED dead. Dead.
And I'm sure that's why we ended up with such a horrible finish as we did.
Dead.
Dead.
So, I mean, overall,
Void
man,
of life.
The couple matches that I saw, they were good. Those right there were worth the price of admission. But we all knew that like the undercard was what everybody was really there to see. And I'm sure that I didn't jump on the Vegas odds of if the over under of Ric Flair dying in the match. I probably should have jumped on that on FanDuel, but I missed that. So
I'd put $1 on it.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I don't know, bud. What do you think? You ready to get in this match of the week or what?
Let's do it.
Hey, so I want you to know, okay? Last night, right? We did the match of the week segment, and I refused to give my match of the week, so that I could give it with you, but just for shits and gigs.
So I think that really the main event really took it for me. As much as I enjoyed the tag team, and I thought it was the tag match, I thought it was perfect. For me, that's the part of SummerSlam that felt like SummerSlam was Brock versus Roman. It really felt like a big time pay-per-view match. And I loved it from start to finish. I thought it was great. Love seeing, like, in gimmick matches like that where it's like they didn't really like they used props, but it wasn't like, oh, we're pulling out barbed wire, pulling out this. It was like mostly like belts and the stairs, and Brock lifted the ring and stuff. Like, it was so creative for a last man standing match, and it just showed how much that if you're actually really good at what you do, like, you don't need a blade, you don't need to use chairs, you don't need to use barbed wire, you don't need to use, because, like, I mean, I just bitched about that so much. You don't need any of that stuff to put on a really compelling, really good match where you just beat the hell out of each other. And you don't need to bleed, you don't need any of that, and you can do it, and it really is something that will fill a football stadium. It is something that'll, be one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, and you don't need to. You just need to be better at what you do. And I really feel like that encompasses everything that I've really been harping on for the last God, however many years.
So Tom coming through picking match of the week as Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, last man standing, and just shitting all over you and your boys in the process. I just
Wow.
wanted to make sure that you picked up that undertone. You know,
I would expect nothing less from Tom, but as usual, he speaks out of both sides of his mouth whenever he's speaking about his match of the week. Whenever he says, "Well, they didn't use a lot of objects in the match. They used some chairs, they used whatever. They lifted the ring." He just glosses over the fact that they drove a fucking John Deere tractor to the ring, and it played a huge influence in the shittiness that was
hey,
this
hey,
match.
bud, hey, bud, hey, Tom doesn't gloss over anything. Okay, so
Oh,
we talked about the tractor at length when we discussed the match. Okay, so
unfortunately, you've only shown me this little bit, and I was directed specifically to not watch what you guys did yet. So, I'm going to have to shit on Tom for that one. Unfortunately, I didn't know, so I take it back, I guess.
you
Hey,
don't
it is what
condone
it
the
is.
tractor spot at all.
But it was more nuisance than anything.
So you would rather see Joey Janela explode like he got shot with a gun from an aluminum foil cookie sheet than Brock Lesnar drive a fucking heavy farm equipment to the ring.
No, I wish Brock Lesnar would have just brought like a kendo stick out or something and just fucked him up with it.
Yeah, but everybody's done that.
Well, maybe he'll have farm animals next time and he just like launches them into
Bah.
farm animals and PETA gets involved. They have a butcher off. They'll see who can butcher a cow the fastest. It'll be a whole new gimmick, pal. It's gonna be great. We've seen this. We've seen this how many times over the years. I'm glad they did something different. It was exciting and fun, but it doesn't mean it was the greatest match of the week. There's zero. Fuck that.
Is Tom watching?
I don't know, but that's a great line right there in the community chat.
Oh, you know the deal. Flair needed that tractor last night. Couldn't even walk down the aisle. Fucking cringe. Tell me about it, man. Listen. Was he drunk? Like,
He seemed so nervous whenever he came out with the robe all. Like, obviously, we know you have the belt. Come on, show us the big gold. Be all creepy with it. I don't know.
fucking internet belt marks are all over this. That thing's been missing for 20 years. Nobody.
Oh yeah, that's what I read too. Bullshit,
Nah, man.
motherfucker. I've known where it was
Conrad.
for years.
Conrad's owned it for the last fucking 10.
Yeah. Anyway, so my match of the week. You know who? I really have an affinity for Ricky Stocks, and
He's a
deep down
star.
in my soul, he's gonna be a star. This week we saw him take on Danhausen, which was quite the squash match, if I might
Very
say. It was,
nice. Very evil.
yeah, it was very squash, very squash. What we saw afterwards, though, was the real meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Whenever he first comes out and issues an open challenge, of course, Hook accepts, which is like, what? And that right there was great fucking television. That was wonderful booking.
Listen,
Followed
Team
up,
Taz hasn't been a thing for
doesn't matter.
like
It is a thing as an underlying.
not.
Like it's not like it went away. There was no.
It will now.
No, it won't. If you'd have
No, it
watched the
will.
show and you'll shut your fucking mouth. After Hook beats Ricky Starks for the FTW Championship, he for one gives Hook the fist bump of like, congratulations, bro. That's awesome. We're so cool and good on you. Second, gives the most passionate promo of the night, and I would even say of most recent memory in AEW. Just basically stating the facts that he's taken that championship and brought it to a whole nother level. In his own words, he took it and turned it into a tie. That thing is on. It's shined up. It's on the mantle. We've got YouTube videos now of Taz all emotional with Hook. You know, my son finally won the championship that I created for tough guys. But it's booking that I never, ever in a million years even knew I wanted, even knew was possible. But for the man of his own faction to come in, take his belt, and they're still like, "Yep, bro, good shit." How can you downplay that? How can you be pissed about that? How are you gonna cough right whenever I want you to
Because
respond to me?
it's nonsensical, pal. Right? Like
It's not.
it is. Like they talk about they've made the FTW belt mean something. Well, that's been the whole fucking thing about the FTW belt for as long as it's been around. It's really not supposed to mean anything. It's an anti-establishment championship.
But at this point, it's still a belt. It's a title. It's a they're selling it as a rogue
Okay,
championship.
calm down,
That
Vince.
means
Okay,
something.
calm down. Okay. I don't care about the FTW championship.
Hi, baby. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
and it can go away.
I see.
Hi, bud.
Say hi to Uncle Walt.
Hi, Uncle.
Come on. Mwah. Night, baby. I love you.
I love you. Night, night.
All right.
Don't ever apologize when your kids come in to tell you good night. What the hell's the matter with you?
I don't know, man. I'm sorry. That was the first time she's ever come in on the show.
No, it's not.
No?
It's just not.
She's a cutie.
It's just not. Okay? Don't apologize for dumb shit. Fuck's the matter with you?
I don't know. I'm just polite.
All right. My match of the week was absolutely at SummerSlam. And was absolutely the undisputed tag team championship match between the Street Profits and the Usos.
The
Okay.
one I didn't watch, so I can't even bitch at you about it.
There's nothing to bitch about, pal. Like, this match was a fucking work of art.
The
Like,
one, huh?
tag team wrestling at its absolute finest. I
feel
love the fact that tag team wrestling in 2022 is such an important part of our viewing experience, not only in WWE, which for years the knock has been that Vince doesn't like tag teams, right? But
Yeah.
like we're getting it like mega. Like look at FTR, my God, like just tag team wrestling as a whole means a whole lot more these days. And this was another prime example of two fantastic teams going out. They've had a nice long program, and they've just delivered at every turn, going out and having that blow off match that absolutely mattered. And Jeff Jarrett as a special guest referee was by far the best thing that ever could have happened. He called that match right down the middle. You know, he was physical when he needed to be physical. You know what I mean? Like his counts were on point. His 3 counts were on point. Like everything Jeff Jarrett did made that match feel that much more important. When was the last time you can look at a match that had a special guest referee and be like, man, that actually made sense?
Unless it's Shawn Michaels, I've got basically nothing. Sometimes
I
Stone
mean,
Cold.
Yeah, but that's usually just there for like a nostalgia pop. Like,
More it was like
you
an
know,
entertainment value, like a cheap pop. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. Yeah, okay,
this
you're
like
right.
he was there to be the law of that match, and he did a
Mhm.
fantastic job. And that match was better because he was there. You know, obviously we're getting the seeds of discontent sown between the Street Profits, and I imagine that they will cease to be a thing here very, very soon. Which is sad because they are a phenomenal tag team. And I absolutely look forward to what those two guys can accomplish as singles, if anything.
It could be that we have different creative now that Trips is kind of. Now, I've seen conflicting reports. I've seen Triple H and I've seen Pritchard, both as
Well,
being named as head of creative.
yes, but Triple H is overseeing all of creative.
Mhm.
Pritchard is still the executive director, and Triple H is now head of WWE creative.
That
So
makes me happier.
all of
Not that I
Bruce
don't love
Pritchard,
Bruce.
all of Bruce Pritchard's shit has to go through Triple H like it had to go through Vince. The only difference is it's Triple H, it's not Vince.
Mm-hmm.
But that match was fucking great. And if you've not watched it all the way, which you clearly haven't, I fully suggest that when we hit end broadcast, that you take the 25 minutes and you watch that thing bell to bell, because you will not be disappointed in how good of a tag team match that absolutely was.
Oh. Noted, sir. Will do. As usual,
So,
I do take our matches of the week seriously. So, hey,
um,
man, if you're telling me to watch and I ain't seen it,
get after it. I am gonna watch. I'm gonna hop in on Monday Night Raw here as soon as we get off the.
yeah, I feel you. Same.
I didn't
Man,
get
my
my
dish
ice
don't
cream.
work in the game room no more. In my game room office hybrid here. I don't know what's up with it. I need to actually
My
take a look, but
I didn't get my ice cream delivered.
I noticed that it's probably in the freezer and it
It
was
is.
soft serve, so now
Yep.
it sucks.
I got a hot fudge sundae, and I don't have hot
Man,
fudge.
and it was soft serve.
Yeah,
It's ruined.
yeah.
It's gonna be all crystallized and shit on the outside.
Hey, man, you got anything else?
Oh man, I'm golden. I've had a great show with you, sir.
It's good.
I do
I'm
miss my
glad.
boy Tom. Man, I'm happy he got to go do a vacation with the family though. I'm pretty jealous. I've never went to the Wonderful World of Disney. It's pretty cool.
So,
And I'll be looking forward to having him back. Things will be back to normal. Yeah, overall,
absolutely, be
man,
back there.
I've had a great show. I'm ready to
Yeah,
go.
good shit.
Ready to
Well,
take it home.
if you're still here, we appreciate you. Please hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We would appreciate that. We go live every Monday, as long as all three of our schedules mesh up, which they generally do. Sometimes it gets a little fucky ducky, and we get to go live on fucking Monday. So usually that means we're going live on Wednesday at 7:30. But generally, 9 times out of 10, we're here Monday 7:30, getting you into Monday Night Raw, um, talking about the week that was to prepare you for the week that will be.
Woo.
And check us out over on social media, both Twitter and Instagram at @1_fall WC. That's ONE. And hey, man, we're here. We're doing the thing. Folks, if you'd like to see us cover more stuff, do some different things, please comment on the streams. When you come through and you're watching them later on, we appreciate that. Um,
Absolutely.
we're always looking to boost our thingy-majig here. So but anyways, with all that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.